Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we break down the charts every single week. So if you like money and you like crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's get into the charts. Now, you probably remember in my last video, I was actually looking for a short from the high of this range. Now, we did in fact break through and we got a massive move to the upside. Now, if we have a look here from the low, we actually got about 32% move to the upside, which is absolutely massive. With 10x leverage, that would have been a 300% trade. However, we were looking for shorts at the high of the range because, guys, I talk about this all the time, but I like to think of trading in the terms of ranges. So ever since March of 2023, we're actually trading sideways within this sideways range here, bouncing around. Now, this is why I was looking for shorts at the bottom to write it down, and then longs at the lows to write it back up. So when we got up to this key area here, this is where I was actually looking for a short to write it back down as we had the past two times. However, we did in fact break out of that range and we saw a massive move to the upside. Now, this is why we practice proper risk management, guys. So guys, as traders, we want to look for trades with good risk versus reward ratios. So we're looking for a trade here. So this trade here has 3-to-1 risk versus reward ratio. So we were looking to get into a short in this zone here with our stop loss just above the previous highs. So that if we were to get a rejection at this point, we could then ride this trade back down to the lows. But if we were to break out like we did, we just got stopped out for a very small loss, guys. So we did take a small L yesterday, but that's right because we're going to bounce back today. But where are we going from here, guys? Well, I like to talk about price in the terms of ranges. Now, since about May of 2022, we've actually been trading within this massive macro sideways range here. And this is where you can expect to take shorts at the bottom and longs at the top. And now you can divide it into many different ranges, guys, in which we've been trading. But altogether, the macro range we've been trading is defined by this blue line here, because this is our key level that we needed to get above in order to start seeing some higher prices, guys. Now, if I pull up my volume profile, all right, guys, as we pull up our volume profile, we can actually see that the level we came up to is our point of control of our macro range up here, which we have been trading in. Now, the point of control is the area where there's the most volume, and this is where you're most likely gonna price is going to be drawn to, but price is also likely to reject from this point. So when we broke out, we literally came up exactly to our point of control here. Now, we know when we enter a new volume profile, but we are likely to eventually get a move back up to the value area high, which is this range here, which is at around $49,000, guys. Now, from where we are now, that is actually a massive move of about 45%. So with 10x leverage, you would actually be looking at a 450% move, which is absolutely massive, guys. But are we going to move straight up, or are we going to have some resistance in the short term? Well, let's look at some shorter time frames to figure this out. So if we go to our daily time frame, we start looking at some of our indicators, we can actually have a look at our RSI. And we are extremely overbought at the moment. And the last time we were actually at these levels was back here in June, April, and January. So we can look at previous price action to get an idea of where we're likely to go next. So the last time we were actually this oversold, guys, was back at our top. And what happened after that? We actually got quite a big move down. And again, when we're above these levels back here, that actually indicated the top, and we got another move down. And even back here in January, we can see that we did slightly get a slight move up, but we did eventually come back down. So looking at our RSI, you never want to enter into longs when you're this oversold, especially on the daily. Now, as well, I do just want to say, with all the excitement around the Bitcoin ETF, and the fear and greed actually being in greed for the first time in about a year and a half, this is a very risky time to be looking for longs, guys. Now, how I was feeling yesterday is actually the exact same feelings and emotions I was feeling back here at the top and back here. Now, based on my market experience of knowing what has happened previously, whenever I'm feeling super like euphoric about the market, that normally indicates a top, which is why I'm going to be very cautious here, looking for longs, and I will only be looking for short trades at the moment. Now, looking at our momentum waves, we can see that we are very overbought on our daily, at actually the highest level we've been at in quite a while. So we are likely to start seeing this to start to curve to the downside soon and potentially to start giving us a bit of a move down. Now, going to our shorter time frames, let's go to the 20-minute. Now, what we can actually see on these shorter time frames is we can actually see since the high, our money flow has actually been coming out of the asset and leaving Bitcoin. Now, this is extremely bearish, guys, and this indicates that we are likely going to see a bit more of a move down, at least in the short term. So what levels am I going to be targeting for this move down? And as well, I will just point out our Bollinger Bands as well. We are currently sitting outside of our Bollinger Bands, meaning that we are likely to come back inside our Bollinger Bands at some point soon. So we know that in the short term, we're more likely than not, we are going to get a correction. So what level am I going to be targeting? Well, the first key level is actually going to be my blue box here, guys. So this is coming in our previous high at around 31,500. So I'm going to be looking for price to come down and retest these levels to flip it into support before we can get that next bigger move towards the upside, guys. And I am expecting that once we can come down and retest this levels, that we might be in store for a massive move, potentially back up to our value area high, which is around this $48,000 mark. So that's currently what I'm looking for, like in the short term. I'm expecting that bit of a correction and a pullback, and I am currently in a short. And when we do get down to these levels here, this is where I'm going to be closing my short. I'm going to be looking for a long to ride it back up to the upside. Now, guys, I am doing one-on-one coaching, so if you're interested in learning how to trade, all the details will be in the description below. But besides that, I'll see you guys next time.